Hi, I'm John McGuire, and I am the product manager for Global Search. And I'm going to take you through what we're expecting to work on for 13.8. And so I have with me Terry and CZ, our engineering manager, and we're going to cover all of the different pieces that we're going to work on. And so Terry's going to get us started.
Hi, I'm Terry. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the move of the group and project filters to view components. That's something that we're going to be working on for 13.8. And John, if you would move to the next tab. And as part of that, we're going to be addressing an issue where if you select a project from the dropdown, it doesn't auto-populate the group. So that fix will be included in the work that is done when the view component is moved over.
You know, that's great. I know that there's been a lot of feedback from our community on actually like trying to improve the way these group and project drop downs work. And so it's exciting to see that we're going to be moving this into a view component, which will make additional updates further. And we're already getting our first update in, which will be, you know, something that is at least a, you know, it's a little bit of a concern for me whenever I use it, is if I choose that project, you know, I don't always think about changing the group as well. I don't think I should have to. Apparently we won't have to now, which is really great.
Right.
It's a great
and
update.
The view work will allow us to do more improvements on the drop downs. So that will be a great first step for that.
Excellent. All right.
The next thing is we're going to be continuing the work on moving issues to a dedicated Elasticsearch index. If you could scroll down a little bit to see the proposal, we have an updated information in the Epic here about the work that's being done. So we've already completed some of it, but in 13.8, we're going to be working on the actual migration, which is copying data from the default index to the new issue index, removing the data from the old index, and making sure that all of the management rake tasks are updated and support the new index, as well as the zero-time reindexing is going to be included in that update. So we're really excited to see this work come to fruition, and we fully expect it to have some great improvements for people using search.
Yeah, and so this is, you know, this is interesting. We talked about this a little bit as we were getting into 13.7 and really kicking off the work that was going on here. You know, it's not clear that we actually get all of this complete in 13.8 yet. We're going to keep moving through that milestone. But once this is complete, we do expect that users are going to have faster searches when they're looking at issues. We had something that came up in 13.7. It was a great surprise. It's going to improve the performance that had to do with permissions, right?
Right. The work that's already been completed in 13.7 is denormalizing the permission data for issues, which is moving the permission data into the issues documents versus trying to pull them from the project documents, and then removing the reliance upon the project data in the search queries for Elasticsearch. So when you do group global and project searches, it's only querying data that's issue data in the issue document, and that was also already completed.
And so if I've got this right, you know, if I'm a user and I'm going through and I'm searching for something in issues, you know, before I would have actually searched on something, you know, let's say that my company does a lot of permissions across projects that say, you know, every project has a specific list of users that are able to view it. We use confidentiality a lot. So if I'm understanding this correctly, we're doing a bunch of checks to make sure that the list that comes back is something that you can view. And this would have had to been done across any project that would have a result that was going to be shown. And now that's actually going to be consolidated so the permission information is in the issue itself. So we won't have to check against the project. Is that right?
Yeah, it makes the queries less complex, and we believe that will result in an improvement in performance.
Yeah, that's great. Especially, I think, for the customers that are using lots of you know, confidentiality in projects and using permissions across projects to view them. Like that's where it seems like it would have the most impact, which there are a lot of our customers that do have some complex structures in how they manage projects that way.
Right.
Okay, that's super. All right, so the next thing we're going to be working on, we're going to start working through some of the pieces in the admin console. The first thing that we're going to do is move advanced search out of the general section that it's in right now, so that it actually appears next to general with settings. So you'll be able to go to admin settings and then see advanced search. And with advanced search, we're also going to be starting to update some of these areas. One of the things we're going to be adding is the Elasticsearch version information. So that way, if you do have to quickly understand what that is, you're trying to understand some of the indexing rules that are out there. For example, if you're using a version of the index that's earlier than 13.0, we have some specific things about that we note in that console, and this will quickly kind of align if you're actually using a version that is newer than that or not. Also, it helps kind of promote the changes that are coming in this future year with Elasticsearch. There's a lot of different version updates that are going to be happening, and they will be enabling new features. We definitely want to make sure that's more visible to our customers as we actually see more migration to the newer versions of Elasticsearch in the years to come. We'll be able to provide more feature sets and less complexity. All right. We're also going to be improving something that came up in some research as a really important use case for us. So file searching has become one of our top use cases that we've seen our users really doing in global search, and we want to make this easier. So I've pulled together 3 items that I think is going to help a lot with that. And the first one is really just a bug, right? So when you're actually searching for a file using path, if it has a space, it doesn't always find that file. And we'll be addressing that and fixing it. The next one is searching with the file name syntax as a confusing behavior. So when you do a file name syntax search and you have your wildcard in there to try to capture everything that has an extension, as an example, it doesn't return some of those results. And in modifying this by adding a wildcard in front of the file name is all of that would take. So we're going to address this so that it doesn't require a keyword or the wildcard star in front of the syntax to be able to return something for that search result. And then the thing that I think is really going to help is we're going to make the file name and path searchable. So right now, when you go into a search and if you copy this out of, for example, if you're copying it out of a file location from a commit or something like that, and you paste in the global search, it doesn't actually find it. It'll find references to it in the code, but it won't find the file that you're looking for. And as we make this searchable, you'll be able to just take what you pasted into the search box and be able to return, that specific result. You should also still get back with the results that appear where that file is mentioned. And so this will allow you to find files, full directory path files, anywhere you are in GitLab where you have global search as an option. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it over to CZ to talk about community contributions.
Hi, I'm CZ, the engineer manager of Global Search team. Yeah, in the past 2 releases, we have received good community contributions. We welcome more in the future. So we have scoped out a couple of issues that we think they are good for community contribution. One of is the Markdown and HTML escaping in the common search result. So in the common search result, you can see the rendering is not consistent in itself, and it's not consistent with other type of search results like issues and merge requests. We list a couple options that we can go with. The other issue is the one that John just mentioned about the 4 paths search in the code search. So those are good candidates for the community contribution. Working on project like GitLab may not be easy But don't worry and feel free to reach out. We are here to help. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Izzy. And I'll tell you, it's really good to see that we've had, more community contributions continue to increase every milestone. And I look forward to seeing even more. And I really want to help do whatever I can to advocate prioritizing issues that will give our community an opportunity to develop with us and contribute. So thank you with that. And that concludes what we're looking at doing for 13.8. Thank you so much.